Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tim the Trailman. I just wanted to make a quick video on talking about a couple of rides that I've had recently over the last month or so. I've went on 2 trail rides and talking about group etiquette in this video. On the topics of group etiquette specifically, I want to talk about if you're leading the ride, or if you're in the middle of the ride, or if you're in the back of the ride, and kind of what the responsibilities are. And I'm looking for some feedback in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation there of what's happening. So let's jump right into it. The first example I have, I was the leader and I made a crucial mistake. On the first ride that I was leading, it was my fault, and we came up a trail to a T and we made a left to go to the top of the mountain. And so without giving specifics of where it's at, just imagine you're on a trail, you make a left-hand turn. And at the top, I thought we had discussed like, hey, we're gonna go all the way down to the bottom of this trail, to the main road, air up, and go home. So heading back down the trail from the top of the mountain to that road that I'm talking about, the person at the back, they said, hey, I need to pull off and use the restroom real quick. No big deal. So I idle forward, pull forward. I always think getting the group a little ways away is just polite and courtesy and let them have their privacy. So we kept meandering down the trail, and unbeknownst to me, because I wasn't paying attention, we had passed that trail that we came up with on the side. And I just kept going straight because that's what I thought I had communicated. So a little while later, we said, hey, we're so-and-so, and they weren't with us. So we stopped, and of course, they made the right-hand turn. They were blazing down the trail. They figured they should have caught us by now. We were out of communication with our radios. They weren't talking on the side of the mountain. We had completely stopped, and then after a little while, they turned around, and then when they got back into range, we were able to raise them on the radio and said, hey, once you get up to that T, turn right. We went straight, and we're sorry. All that to say, that was a trail ride with 6 people. And I was leading it, and I learned that day that if you're the leader and you're coming up to a fork in the road, or you make a decision, someone breaks off to use the restroom, you need to stop, you need to communicate. And maybe I should have stopped at that T intersection, and I might have if I'd have seen it, but it happened. And no one got hurt or lost. It's just, I felt bad personally as the leader of the trail ride. I wanted to get your input on what you do when someone needs to stop and use the restroom or pull off for something that you just feel like maybe we should get a little bit away from them to give them their privacy. It could even be something like changing a baby's diaper or something. So tell me in the comments below. Okay, so the second example is I went on a night ride and I was a participant. I was not leading it. And in this example, there was literally 46 vehicles, massive group. So within the mountains of Georgia, from the leader of the pack to the tail gunner, the radios are not going to talk. It doesn't matter how strong they are. Maybe if it's ham radio, possibly, but not GMRS. We're on a trail. The directions were given via Facebook. No one had signal. A couple people had screenshots, and I'm following the pack. I'm in the middle, and I'm following someone. And it's all good, of course, until we come into a fork in the road. And the fork in the road literally had probably 3 different branches. The guy in front of me, he's been going a little bit slower, and I've noticed that he's lost taillights. He cannot see the person in front of him, but I was like, he probably knows where he's going. This isn't my ride. And when we come up to that intersection, I look left, right, center, and I see taillights off to the left. And I'm like, perfect. I hope the person in front of me goes that way. Sure enough, they did. So I follow suit. And about 8 other people behind me, they followed as well. So I'm thinking, cool, we're on the right path. Now remember, I know kind of the game plan, but I don't know exactly how to get there. That's my fault. Maybe I should have asked more questions and planned ahead. Maybe 2 miles down that trail, someone's like, hey, I think we've lost the pack. No one's talking on the radio. So I flash my high beams at the person in front of me. They pull over. I get out and I talk to them. And I say, hey, do you know where you're going? They tell me, first time out, never been on a trail ride, definitely not at dark, no radio, and no maps. And I'm following this guy. So I quickly talk to the person behind me, a couple others on the radio, and they say, Tim, you've got a radio, you've been out here before, you got maps, let's get us back to where we need to be. Now I'm leading, and what we know is we need to head back, make a left. That would have been a straight from where we veered off and went down the wrong trail. So at this point, I'm thinking the rest of the people should have been behind us, but somehow the trail lead, they made it to the right direction, and then the people somewhere behind us, they must have lost taillights too because they kept going straight. So literally the little section in the middle of this ant trail veered off. I would have not expected that. I figured if we went the wrong way, this third section of the trail the followers would have went with us. But that didn't happen. I get them back to pavement. I know where the second half of the trail ride is. This is a 53-mile trail ride at night. It's going to be epic. We're out there for 3 hours. No complaints about that. So I tell them, hey, I can lead y'all, but we're probably never gonna see the group again. They're like, cool, let's do it. I hit those trails, I know where they're at, I've got them mapped out. Some of them were gated, we double back and we make it back to pavement. Now it's about 10:30 at night and I said, hey, I need to air up and head home. I wanna make sure everybody gets to where they're going. And heading out on the pavement, it's kind of remote out there in North Georgia. We see some people pulled over into a parking lot, looks to be airing up, and I could tell they were with the group. We pull in and they go, where have you gone? And I'm thinking more like, where did y'all go? But it was all good. Everybody was friendly. No one got hurt. No one got lost. Like, everyone made it back. What's the largest group ride you've been in? Have you got separated from the group? What is your group etiquette ideas in the comments below on this topic? First one, I was the leader. Definitely my fault. It was 6 people. I should have not lost anybody or gotten separated. The second one, I was a participant, 46 people deep on windy trails with split offs and got separated, made it out. Of course, I have a story to tell and a lot of learning to do myself. But tell me in the comments below what your thoughts are on this. It's just an idea that I had to make a video on group etiquette for trail rides specifically. Everybody was respectful and friendly, great time. I just felt like maybe there should be something more that could have been done. From me, maybe from the leader, maybe from the tail gunner. I'd like to give a shout out to my patrons. Thank you. Your support means a lot to me and the channel. And if you'd like to be a patron too, please head on over to patreon.com/Tim the Trailman. Thanks for watching. There's always a plane flying when I'm filming. No planes fly when I don't film. I don't get it.